Good evening and welcome to WANA Live, the reading series of the Writers Association of Northern Appalachia. We're back for after our summer hiatus. I'm Damian Dresick, your host, and this is your other host,
Christina Fasonic. I am so glad to be back. We did take a little while off to catch our breath because behind the scenes, we have been working on the conference that's coming up.
Wait, when is this conference, Christina?
So it's September 19th and 20th here in Wheeling.
Where is this conference, Christina?
In Wheeling, West Virginia. And
what building is it in?
It's in the Scottish Rite Cathedral.
Now, do we have a keynote speaker for this conference?
We do.
Could it be a singular figure in the world of Pittsburgh letters?
Absolutely. Jan Beatty will be with us as our keynote speaker.
The Jan Beatty.
Yes.
Is going to be our keynote speaker. And isn't this conference very affordable to attend?
Absolutely affordable. It's a 2-day event. We open with the Women of Appalachia, an award-winning group of amazing writers that have been gathered together by the Ohio Poet Laureate, Carrie Gunter Seymour. And then an open mic. And then Saturday is all day workshops and craft sessions and readings and great food and lots of fun and live music. And of course, Jan's keynote address will take us out for the evening. So
that sounds great. It is just, in all seriousness, folks, it is really affordable. Also, if you're a student and you see like everybody's getting these AWP things, it's like, oh my God, where am I going to come up with all this money? We have a student rate, a special student discount, $25 for students. So if you're interested in attending a literary conference and you're like, oh, I don't know if I have any money, go through the cushions of your couch, go through your roommate's pockets in the coats in the closet, and you can come up with $25. Well, maybe you should. Yeah, you should go do it. Just do it. Anyway, $25 for students. It's something that I would have loved to do done as a student.
Absolutely.
Hey, do we have a reader tonight?
We do. And I'm so excited that we are back on the air with this next reader. And we've had her on before, and she has a new book out. And you want to tell everybody about her?
I would love to tell. We've got Sherrie Flick tonight, another institution in Pittsburgh letters, and also a real a major player in the world of flash fiction. Sherrie's recent awards include a 2023 Creative Development Grant from the Heinz Endowment and a Writing Pittsburgh Fellowship from the Creative Nonfiction Foundation. She's the author of 3 story collections: I Have Not Considered Consequences, Thank Your Lucky Stars, and Whiskey, etc. All published by Autumn House Press. Her debut essay collection, Homing Instincts of a Rustbelt Feminist, was published by the University of Nebraska Press. The essay All in the Family, Waldo and His Ghosts, was listed as notable in the Best American Essays 2023. She is the co-editor for the Norton anthology Flash Fiction America, and she served as the series editor for the Best Small Fictions 2018 and is a senior editor at SmokeLong Quarterly. She served as the 2025 McGee Distinguished Professor in Creative Writing at Davidson College and recently joined the fiction faculty for West Virginia Wesleyan's Low Res MFA, and she lives in Pittsburgh. We're lucky to have her.
Hey, Sherrie.
Thank you.
When we come back, we do it big. It's so great having you on the show again, and you have a new collection out. You want to talk to us about that?
I do. It's called I Have Not Considered Consequences, and it's a collection of flash and longer stories, and there's a thread of bear stories throughout it, which is kind of a manifestation of my creative process during the pandemic, right? We all wrote some weird stuff, and I wrote a lot of weird stories in this book. So that's kind of the gist of the book.
And I love your bear stories. They're some of my favorite stuff that you've written.
We are very pleased to publish some bear stories in Appalachian Lit.
Yes.
That's right. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Early bear stories.
Yes. Yes. So we will get out of your way and let you read.
Okay, great. I'm going to read a bear story, in case everybody was nervous that that wasn't going to happen. And it's called Two Bears. The bear stories in this book vary. There are actual bears. There are people mistaken for bears. There are bears who are bartenders. There are bears who are mid-level professionals. It's kind of a wide array of bearness. And this is called Two Bears. My brother has hit two bears in two different states with this piece of shit car. Each time, both bear and car survived. It's a draw in his eyes. Bear 2, Eddie 2. Eddie is waiting for his next chance to really take a furry bastard down so he can make some jerky, get a rug done for the rec room. I say maybe he should just get a hunting license and kill the bear like a normal country guy. Eddie takes a long swig of his tall boy, looks me dead in the eyes for way too long, then gazes at the fallow field beyond his property. Now, why would I do that, he says. That has nothing to do with fate. Eddie's a weird one. He's the sibling who stayed close to home, still works in the mechanic shop with Uncle Verge, chews tobacco, wears a bandana, camo pants, work boots, the whole deal. But he's into tarot, reads cards on the side while people wait for their cars. There's a rabbit's foot in his front pocket right now. Bet you. Fate my ass, I say. You're just a really lousy shot, which is true. As a kid, I was the one destined for down-home success. I got my deer every year. I won the demolition derby at the county fair twice. I dated a girl named Darla Jean, for real. But it turns out I left and he stayed. Now I'm back visiting and checking out the dent in his Ford from the recent Tennessee bear that loped into the woods afterward, never turning back, like, car, whatever, or that's how Eddie seemed to see it. Eddie crosses his arms over his chest, feet in a wide stance with his back to me. Can't figure out what I'm supposed to learn from this, he says. Goddamn universe. He throws down his beer can and strides into our parents' farmhouse, which is now his farmhouse, minus the actual farm. God damn, he says, not looking back. I pick up the can, follow him into the cool, dark kitchen where he's fixing himself a sandwich. I've spent so many years following Eddie, and I just step right back into it when I'm here. He makes a second sandwich, leaves it on the counter like a little raft adrift. I scoop it up, follow him into the dining room, which is also the living room. My 12-point deer head is still mounted on the far wall, hooves turned up below it for hat pegs, a Verge's auto baseball cap tipped over the one on the right. The cards are in a neat pile waiting at the center of the table, wrapped in a clean red bandana. What in the hell are you doing up there anyway? Eddie asks, face nuzzled into his bologna as I sit down. The cards are a bigger question between us, a big, quiet question. Working, living, having a nice life, I say, like a pretty life with a lake, something more than here. I have goals. Uh-huh, he says, wiping his hands carefully on a paper towel. Eddie unwraps the deck. He taps it. Shuffle them, he says. Think about your question, then pick a card. I notice his hands, even clean, have taken on the grime of a lifelong laborer, grit permanently packed into the dry skin cracks, a soft line of dirt under his fingernails. They're strong and steady. He passes me a paper towel. Clean your hands first, he says. Don't go messing up my cards. Instead of wondering about my own questions, I wonder about Eddie, the car, the bears. The first one was in Kentucky on a road slick with rain. Eddie slid into the bear and pushed him over the guardrail, the car dinging against the metal like a big bell. That bear disappeared. Eddie says, poof. I think about the why of Eddie, keeping score and his waiting for the universe to kill him. I let all these thoughts swish in my head, back and forth in my brain, swishing like mouthwash, and then I pick a card. I flip it over, and Eddie does a quick inhale. Whoa, he says, and the color fades from his face. He deflates right there on the spot. What? I say. It's just a card, Eddie. Give me some time, he says. Eddie studies his hands, then the card, then he stares out the window at the afternoon breeze hitting the treetops. He looks anywhere but at me. Finally, he pushes his fingers down onto the table, leans toward me a bit, and says, "The tower." He sits back in his seat. It looks like he's found his center again. This is the oh shit card, Joey. People think the devil and death are bad. No, this is it. This is the you're fucked card. Bad shit is going down, man. Wow. He leans back in his chair, raising the front legs off the floor, crossing his arms over his chest. You need to be careful, dude. There's no going back. The tower's on fire, and it's just fucking singeing everyone in it. Do you see that? He leans forward again, thumping down his chair legs, and taps the card with his thick pointer finger once, twice. You've either got to master it or be destroyed, man. We're talking serious trauma, Joey. What the fuck? I feel like I've unfairly manifested something, that I cheated by not having my own question and using Eddie's life instead of mine, just like I did when we were growing up. I just followed him around and didn't have to make my own decisions. I got into trouble because Eddie did. I dated Darla Jean because Eddie told me to. The first decision I ever made on my own was driving away from it all. Getting in my car and leaving the farm, Darla Jean, Mom, Dad, Eddie. And maybe the moment I turned the key in the ignition started all the steps that led to this card on the table in front of me. The bears, the farm, and the dart that seems to have stuck Eddie to the spot forever. Can I get a do-over, I ask, and maybe a beer? Eddie thumps into the kitchen. I hear the refrigerator door open and close. He comes back with 2 tall boys and a sponge to wipe the table. He wipes around the card, doesn't touch it again the whole time I'm there. The tower just continues to burn for the next 3 days. There are no do-overs, Eddie says. You know that, Joey. You learned that a long time ago. And that's 2 bears from I've Not Considered Consequences.
Oh gosh, I love that. Oh my God. I love that it's funny and it's not.
Right.
Which is my favorite thing. And it made me think about something that is totally goofy, but I was one time, I live in West Virginia. So bears are the thing here. And I was walking through the store with a friend in a cabin down by Blackwater Falls at a store. And he said, look at all this paraphernalia.
That's great.
I just love what you wrote though, because I feel like we've all had a guy like this in our lives, or we know somebody like this, who they seem to be mad at the world because they think the world is mad at them.
Yeah, they're sort of set in a really tight orbit, and maybe the solution is leaving, but that is one thing that can never happen. They have to stay in this kind of car, farm, whatever orbit of their lives. Yeah, it was interesting. That story, a friend told me that her brother had hit a bear in 2 states. And so it was like a writing prompt almost, and I was like, oh, can I steal that? Because I'm writing these bear stories. And yeah, so that kind of started it. This who is this person? And the why of hitting the bear and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of fun to work all that out.
And not 1, but 2. I mean, the chances of hitting 1 bear, pretty astronomical, but 2?
And surviving,
I'm thinking
right?
that there's a car company that could use that as an ad. Like 2 bears and still going.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that the car wasn't totaled and that, both, well, I don't know. I think the bear survived in real life, but definitely the person survived in real life. So it's kind of amazing.
Can you imagine that bear going back to his bear people and saying, you won't believe what happened to me. I was walking along minding my own business and
I just got pushed over a guardrail.
And he just drove away. He didn't even stop to ask how I was or anything.
Exactly.
So I love that though, that imaginative space that we can think about these bigger issues in an almost magical way. And I love all of your writing feels that way to me.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
lean toward the absurd, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
like people are saying, like, you know, are these bear stories like super weird for you? And in some ways they are, but in other ways they aren't. You know, I love absurd situations that could be real. And so the bears like push that a little bit, but it was fun to actually have a threat once the manuscript was put together. My other two collections have sections in them, you know, because they're kind of connected thematically in clumps. But with this collection, I was able to not have sections and have the bear stories be this kind of thread throughout. So that was really fun because the other stories, which are not bear stories, you know, are long and micro and flash links. So you land on the bear like every few stories.
And every time I did that, when I read this collection, I go, it's another bear story. And it's a delight. It's like, and then you wait until is there going to be another one? Because you don't know when you first start reading, like, is there going to be another bear story or not? Or is this like a 2 off? Is there just 2 bear stories? I don't know. So I really
that's kind of fun, right? Like you don't know the structure until you're really through the book. So that's kind of fun to hopefully fun for the reader to follow.
And to anticipate and not be disappointed because there was another bear story and another bear story. And yes.
They just kept coming.
Yes.
I love the authenticity. I mean, you don't need to ever have been in the room to know there's a 12-point buck, but to have the hooves as hat pegs, that inspired.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's a classic kind of, well, at least, you know, where I grew up in Western PA, it's kind of the classic setup, you know, of, you know, usually there's a little mirror there too, so that you can, like, I don't know,
watch yourself put on
fix your head, yeah, as you put the hat on.
And I like the idea that like there's that he also has, like, you know, there's the mechanic business, but also he's the tarot reading mechanic.
I love that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's this like mix of, like, I don't know, part of like absurdist writing is creating the logic within the story and sticking to the logic. And if, you know, you can create the kind of absurdist detail, like, you don't want to just say, or at least I don't want to just say when I'm writing these stories, you know, that he reads tarot, right? Because that seems to me a little jokey. But then if the tarot itself is read in the story, you know, it is part of the logic of the story and the manifestation of the story, then that absurd detail becomes like part of the setting, part of characterization, you know, it's like completely like, you know, knitted in there. Yeah, that's what I love to do. So I came up with the idea, of course, of the tarot, and then I had to figure out like how it was going to work.
And he also the tower. He's, you know, you think death is bad. He's so serious, you know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, it is a really crappy tarot card to get.
I love that part, and I was thinking I'd go to him for a tarot reading,
right?
Just for the entertainment factor, right? Just to see what would happen.
Like, if you're getting your oil changed, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, you're getting your oil changed, and there's this guy who'll read your tarot while you're there. I mean, it's just like perfect, you know, way to deal with this downtime. So
future's while you wait.
Exactly. You've got the tagline.
Yeah, I love that. Oh man, now it makes me want to, you know, make some calls.
You can get on it. You can like, yeah, you can lure a mechanic in to, you know.
Well, in this economy, you know, things have to do double duty, sometimes triple duty. So why not? There could be a tea leaf reader and a tarot reader, and you can get your oil changed and your tires rotated at the same time and walk
exactly.
There,
you know, more of this.
Optimistic by the future. and then the car breaks down the street. Well, that wasn't in the cards, you know.
Right. There you go.
All right. So we're the other thing I really love about this, and as it's been the first week of the semester, is I've got an expression I can borrow for the rest of the week. What's left of it? Can I have a beer and a do-over?
There you go. Those are the two things you need quite often, right?
I had a student ask me that once, a freshman years ago, and he didn't do well on his first essay, and he said, Can I have a do-over? And I said, yes, you can revise. Oh, is that what it's called in writing? Oh, and I said, yeah, that's what it's called. And he did great the rest of the term. So sometimes you just need a do-over, but he was too young to have a beer.
I like calling a revision a do-over. I might start using that, right? It's like,
it's
kind of more fun sounding than.
And that's really what you're doing. You're doing over your work, right? And I at first I was like, did he really say that? And then I was like, he really said that. That's awesome. So I think we learn a lot.
He didn't ask for the beer.
No, he was too young for the beer. He was just 18.
Oh, well.
Yes.
So Sherrie, I realize not only are we both Flash writers, not only are we both living in a sort of greater Pittsburgh area, but something else we have in common that not a lot of people could lay claim to.
What?
We have books with bears on the cover.
That's awesome.
It's like a tiny, fraternity of bear cover having.
Yeah,
writers.
maybe we can work up like an AWP panel of.
I was just thinking that
cover.
I think that's a great idea. Maybe we might have to like find some people, some other animals, like
We could.
But if it's all bears, you could have like unbearable in the title, but with un in parentheses.
Yes, we could.
You could, but you know what Damien didn't say is that his bear is addicted to meth.
A little different from my bears.
Yeah, and he's a janitor. His bear, right, Damien?
That's true. Yeah.
I go to a panel about bears.
Sure.
That's always next year.
Yeah, it's always next year. We can give it a go.
Yeah, we'll all be rejected again, but anyways.
All right. Thank you so much for helping us kick off a new season of WANA Live. It was wonderful to hear you read, Sherrie.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy back to school to both of you.
Yes, I'm on sabbatical, so.
Oh, happy sabbatical.
I'm getting the beer and the do-over.
That's right. Thank you so much, Sherrie. It's always amazing listening to you read and
great to see you guys.
Engaging and yes. So, well, anyways, good night, everybody. And we will see you next week. Carrie Gunter Seymour will, in fact, be here to read some of her poetry and to talk about what she's doing next because she's about to step down as the Poet Laureate of the state of Ohio. So they're looking for the next one. And so, this might be a chance to get some tips on what that might entail. So see you all next week.
All right. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.
Bye.